Hi YouTubers, this is Jen, and I just wanted to finally introduce myself to you all. I've experienced ASMR pretty much, I think, my entire life, like probably most of you as well, but I wasn't aware that it had a name, or was even a concept, or was something that wasn't experienced by everyone until I had stumbled across a forum thread about it on the Something Awful forum. And that brought me to Reddit and the ASMR subreddit and SoothTube and all these amazing videos on YouTube, of course. So, I had actually been sort of sharing quite a few links and stuff with one of the guys at work, because we've been talking about, he'd been telling me about his trips to the dentist and how much he enjoyed the dentist, and I sort of knew that it was the same thing that I experienced when I went to a hairdresser. So I had shared with him some links on Reddit and YouTube and stuff, and one day at work I said, I've been watching so many of these videos, I kind of have a desire to make a few of my own, just to see if I could manage it, if I could actually find some triggers for people. And I'm still honestly not 100% sure how I've done, but I know most people respond fairly positively to my voice, at least in terms of being relaxing or soothing. I've worked on the telephone off and on over the years, for around 20 years now, so I'm pretty comfortable with that, with the speaking part of it. I never am quite sure of the balance when making the videos of doing no speaking to speaking, so that's why I tend to do them. I've started doing them as like completely separate videos. Eventually I'll like to have an entire playlist of just non-speaking videos where I'm just doing things, and I would probably have even more uploaded, except I am apparently the world's worst unboxer. I can't even tell you how many unboxing videos I've already made for you that are never going to be posted because I'm just a klutz. Things go flying out of my hands. It could be a scissors, could be a knife, could be the video game box itself. It's amazing. I manage to drop things on the floor. So it goes back and forth, and editing can only accomplish so much if you're literally making some sort of mistake every 30 seconds or banging around with things too loud, etc. So that's where it stands right now. My plans going forward for the channel are, I would really like to do some reading for you. I have a couple of longer form poems I have in mind. I had already read a chapter from War of the Worlds and wasn't too happy with the recording, so I'm going to redo that. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, I know. I'd really like to do some guided visualizations or like relaxation scripts. I've been planning on writing my own, but I haven't really had a lot of time to focus on that, so I may start out with just doing some of the relaxation scripts that are available online, and sadly it's probably stuff that you've heard before, but maybe for some of it, hearing it in a different voice gives you a new opportunity to be triggered, by it. Let's see. Oh, alright, so I want to share with you one of my probably two of my biggest sort of ASMR reactions, like really clear memories of them as well, because it's always sort of a thing that happens. I tend, for the most part, I don't think I get it like super, super strong reaction. It'll be very fleeting. Like it normally doesn't like last for a very long time. But there are occasions in which it does. And one of those was years ago. It's something happens a lot at the hairdressers when someone's like working on my hair, especially if it's a stylist who is not big on the chit chat. I find if the stylist is sort of constantly talking to me, my head just really can't get into the groove. But several years ago, I had been living in London, and I needed to get a haircut, and one of the girls I worked with said that she used to get her hair cut at this salon where they had student hairdressers working like one evening a week for a couple hours, and you could get your hair cut very inexpensively. So I made an appointment on the night that the students were there to go along and get my hair cut. And any time you go for student service, like whether it's massage, hair salon, nail salon, whatever it might be, students always take longer because they tend to work very precisely and slowly because they're nervous and they want to make sure they do everything properly and that they're following the pattern or whatever it is that they might be doing. And they, want to make sure they don't screw anything up while they're working on you. So this sets the perfect environment for ASMR experiences, those little head tingles in the back of your head, because they're working slowly and precisely around you with that intense personal focus, and they're not talking to you too much as well to sort of interrupt you sort of going inside yourself or whatever it is that you experience. And so when I was at this hair salon, the girl who was cutting my hair literally took over 2 hours to do my hair, and all she needed to do was like trim it and blow it dry. I mean, my hair is very simple. It's like at the time it was shoulder length hair. It was I probably had to have like 2 inches taken off the back of it, and all she needed to do would have been to cut it and just blow it dry and do a little flip under on it. And she spent 2 hours doing this. And I probably was in some sort of ASMR daze for like an hour and a half of that time. Towards the end, it was starting to get annoying because there's a fine line between a relaxing slow pace and glacier speed. And she had been getting to that point towards the end, so I had gotten to the point where I was just like, oh, you can speed it up now because I'm like ready to leave. But for at least an hour and a half of that experience, I was like in tingle heaven. The other experience, so weird. Other experience was I had gone to a home buyer seminar. It was like this day-long class I had to go to. It was broken up over 2 nights, and over the course of the class, all these different professionals that are involved in the home selling process come and talk to you about what they do, what your expectations should be, etc. When you're hiring them, what to look for, why you need them, etc. So the guy who did the talk about the home inspection process, the home inspector, he comes in and he explains like why you need a home inspected before you buy it. And whenever he was reiterating his points, he talked in a very sort of slow, almost like hypnotically paced manner, and whenever he would go over his various points, he would always like raise his hand and like count off. It'd be like, 1, you need to have a home inspector because this is the only way you're going to be able to get out of the contract if you suddenly decide you don't want to buy this house. And, believe me, I can find anything wrong with it that'll allow you to get out of your contract. And 2, you want to make sure that you don't have termites tearing that place apart. And 3, and, this would go on. And he'd be like raising his hand in the air and going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 with his fingers. And I would be like literally like melting and practically falling out of my seat and like ready to fall asleep on the floor because it was like so hypnotic. I was like, I had the tingles going on my head for at the first part of it, but then all of a sudden I felt like I was going to just fall asleep right there. And like I barely keep my eyes open the whole time. I was literally like pinching myself, trying to keep my eyes open while he was talking because it was just so relaxing and soothing. I like wish I could have secretly recorded him and posted it on YouTube, but I didn't know about this stuff at the time, and I didn't have this little Zoom recorder, and I probably would have gotten in trouble anyway, and I'm not too much of a troublemaker, so that was an interesting experience. So I just thought I'd share some of those with you, and I think, Relaxation ASMR, the channel name. I did like internet marketing for a couple years before I decided to go back and take a regular job, and I swear to God, you get like so focused on keywords. That's like all you think about. Otherwise I would have chosen, I think, a channel name that was sort of less on the money, as it were. Maybe something a little more personal. But it's too late now. Unless I give Google something as my like real name. But my name is Jen. I'm in my 40s, and so that probably makes me substantially older than virtually everyone else doing whisper or soft-spoken videos. I know there's a few people who are a bit older, like not everyone is a teenager or in their 20s, but I think a lot of them are, which is fine. I think that's great. I think it's amazing that there's like this whole community has developed on YouTube that like probably so many people, when they stumble across, if they don't know what it is, they must just like come across these videos and be like, why on earth is this person typing? Or like, all the unboxing videos. I mean, how much of that, for like the ones that are not specifically tagged ASMR, you have to wonder how many people watch just regular unboxing videos, and they're doing it to have the same head tingles that we call ASMR, but they're not really aware that that's what it is. It's just, I don't know. I guess it's just a relaxation. So that's the state of things right now, and I just wanted to thank everyone who's listening to this, who's subscribed to my channel. It's so amazing. When I got my first subscriber, I'm not even sure who that was exactly, because when I first posted, I think I posted my second video, which was the video game commentary video. I'd first posted a short video that wasn't even in HD, which was the flipping through my bills and paperwork and just silently organizing stuff. And then the second video was about the video games, and I did post that I posted it to the thread at Something Awful and over on the ASMR subreddit, so I got a bunch of subscribers pretty quickly right after I made those posts. So I'm not really sure who my very first subscriber was, but whoever you were, You are awesome, and so are the rest of you for subscribing and commenting. Yeah, I really love reading comments, and I'll always reply to them. But at any rate, that is it for me this evening, and thank you so much for listening and subscribing. And if you're listening to this and you made it all the way through to the end without getting bored and clicking over to a related video, then you should probably hit the subscribe button, don't you think? Yes. All right, so good night and sweet tingly dreams.